Taurus, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click on the description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. Okay, so there's one of two things here, Taurus. So you're going to have to pick which story resonates with you. Don't try and make it fit. Just pick the one that works. You have the lovers in the inverse and the strength in the inverse. So either you're involved in a romantic relationship that is not gone sour, but a bit rocky, so to speak. And that is draining on you. The arguments, the disagreements, the what do I do next weighs very, very heavy on your mind. And it's just slowly but surely wearing down your resilience within this connection. Or you're wrestling with your shadow side. And what I mean by that is you're starting to recognize actions that you've taken that you're not quite proud of. And that weighs very heavily on your mind. And again, it's wearing down your resilience. This is you, be it with another person or just an aspect of self. This is you walking around on the day-to-day basis with a mild case of depression, very, very mild case of depression, based on the things that have happened in the past playing over and over in your mind. And a slight, just a mild case of anxiety in regards to how can I fix this moving into the future. So this isn't constructive thinking at this point. It may have started that way, okay? So the way that you're working through this process started as very constructive because you recognize something in yourself that needed to change or something within the relationship that needed to change. However, at this point, you're just going around the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and it has no productivity anymore. So for your hopes, it's a long intro. For your hopes, okay, you are hoping to get out of your head and into reality, even if it doesn't give you the ideal situation, just to stop it from rolling around in your head and draining your energy. So yeah, you're hoping to get out of that headspace of constantly replaying events. The fear that you have is that you're going to give up trying to strategize this situation, but you're still not going to be able to walk away. So the fear is that you have no control in any way, shape, or form. But remember, fear is a perception. You're just perceiving it that way. You're only envisioning all the worst case scenarios. I can't fix this. I can't walk away from it. I can't this. I can't that. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's a perception. That is not the reality. In reality, which is these last two cards we have here, we have the Temperance in the inverse, and we have the Five of Wands in the inverse. In reality, the way to fix the situation is to drop the inner conflict first and foremost. That wrestling with yourself on shoulda, coulda, wouldas, I did, I didn't, I won't, I can't, I couldn't. All of that, you have to be able to calm those voices in your head, because if you keep doing it, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. You're just literally running in circles. The Temperance in the inverse tells me it's time to go back to the drawing board. It's time to get a new recipe on how to deal with this situation. So the situation itself is malleable. We all have choices and we can all take actions to change our outcome. But if you do it the way you've always done it, you'll be stuck in this cycle of playing everything out in your head and never really bringing anything into the 3D realm, never actually taking it out of your head and making it physical and having that conversation with somebody, making it real and tangible and malleable. The only reason you feel like you can't do anything in this situation right now is because you're telling yourself you can't do anything in this situation right now. And that's your reality. This blockage is of your own accord, Taurus. You are blocking yourself from doing something about this situation. Yep. Seven of Cups in the inverse. Stagnation due to indecision. Because you haven't decided on an action, you're stuck. And you're imagining all the possibilities, but you're not taking action on any of them. You're sitting there waiting and hoping that everything will go as planned. But did you really have a plan to begin with? And you're waiting and waiting and waiting on the other person or persons to come in with a solution. Well, yeah, you don't have control of the situation if you're waiting for somebody else to make the solution. The problem is the other person as distraught as you? You know, do they realize a solution needs to be made? Maybe you just need to open up your mouth and say, hey, we have this problem. Maybe that's the action you need to take. This tells me that the nail doesn't hurt enough yet for you to get up and go. So, it's an old story about a man walking down the street and he hears this howling and howling. And as he walks past this person's porch, he sees a dog laying on the porch and he's howling. And he asks the man, sir, is there something wrong with your dog? And he goes, oh yeah, he's laying on a nail. And he's like, well, why doesn't he get up and move? And he said, well, the nail just doesn't hurt that much yet. And I think that's an analogy for a thing that a lot of people do is something will hurt or bother them enough that they'll dwell on it or they'll complain about it, but they don't take action. It doesn't hurt enough to take action. So if you're hurting and you're going over this thing and you're dealing with this, what action do you need to take to let other people know? What action do you need to take in order to bring something? Oh, sorry. What action do you need to take in order to leverage your resources and bring something into fruition? Taurus, I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. My suggestion would be just to get up off that nail because it's going to keep hurting. I'll see you next time.